Hello, beautiful people. Today I would like to talk with you about desires. And this is a topic that I've been getting clarity on for a few years now. And at the beginning, I was thinking, because I was reading some Buddhist texts, and not only Buddhist texts, but like in general, spiritual texts, and I was listening to different people. And some people, especially in Buddhism, they would claim that desires are the root of all suffering. Ooh, fear, right? Fear, lack, insecurity, unsafety, guilt, regret, and judgment, and whatnot. So imagine this. There is a tree that you plant. There is a seed that you plant in the soil. And this seed knows exactly what it wants. It wants obviously some minerals, soil, it wants water, and it also wants air, oxygen, and light. So what it does is it starts growing its roots down in order to reach more of those for it nutrients, right, and nourishing things, and also water, to reach more water, to reach a place there where humidity is higher or wetness, I don't know how to even call it, but it goes down for water. And at some point, it starts going also up because it looks for air, it looks for oxygen, it looks for the sun. And you may think it knows exactly what it wants, right? It knows what is best for it. And guess what this is? This is its desire. It desires to be fulfilled, to be nourished, and to grow, to kind of prosper in a way. To prosper, meaning to have more water, more minerals, more nourishing, whatever, more light, and so on and so forth. And you would think, well, but those desires are not bad. Yeah, exactly. They're not bad because desires are not supposed to be bad. Now, we go, for example, to a deer, and the deer lives, let's say, in the forest, crosses the fields, and it eats plants. It eats different leaves, it eats different shrubs, like shrubberies, bushes, grass, etc. And it drinks water, it also likes the sunlight, and it definitely likes breathing air. So in order for a deer to be able to live its life in abundance, that means that it needs food, it needs water, it needs light, and it needs air. And guess what? Those are the things that it is looking for. And once it finds them, it feels very satisfied. It's not that it feels dissatisfied otherwise, it just looks for what it desires, for what it needs. And now, talking about a desire, what is a desire really? It's our innate need for something. And it's obvious from the example so far that desires that are connected to our innate needs are good things. They're always there to keep us happy, to keep us fulfilled, to keep us nourished, basically to keep us living an abundant life. And what does Buddhism say about desires? Well, they're evil, they're bad, they create suffering. Right, but what is really Buddhism talking about? What kind of desires? Because those texts are old. I don't know how old they are, but they're old. And we know that languages change throughout time, and they change dramatically throughout time. One example of how they change is there was something in the Old Testament where the word faggot is used. And it turns out that in Old English, the word faggot means a bunch of sticks that somebody's carrying on their back. Can you imagine? And now imagine what this word is used for nowadays. Not justifying anything, but I'm saying, see how language has really changed. And that's incredible. But look at this now. So let's say that whoever was and has been, whoever, what kind of people have been translating those texts, like Buddhist texts or the Bible or whatever, any sorts of ancient supposedly text. there have been different people throughout different times, and they've been speaking different types of languages, different types of dialects, different types of, the modern type of the same language even. And guess what? Those languages have changed tremendously. So at some point, let's say that the person that chose the word desire chose it based on what the translation of the word originally used was meant to be now. And let's say that they translated as desire, right? And the way that they translated as desire might not be the true translation for this word. And I'm going to give you an example about this. So in Buddhism, they start off with the statement that life is suffering, right? But in the original text, the word dukkha is used for suffering. And dukkha does not mean suffering. Yep, I know. Stay with me. Dukkha does not mean suffering. Dukkha means actually a wheel and its axis in the middle. And when a wheel turns, its axis might get off center, right? Get off center. And suddenly it starts doing like this, and what does the wheel do? It starts self-destructing itself. And this is what is being translated as suffering. There's so much misunderstanding in the world, so much confusion just because of one single statement. Life is suffering. Well, what about all of the times in your life that you felt happy, that you felt joyful, that you felt abundant, that you felt supported, that you felt empowered, that you felt inspired, that you felt loved, that you felt joy, that you felt absolutely blissful? What about those times? Were they also suffering? Nope, not really. Not really. Life is not suffering. Life, however, or more precisely, thoughts, incorrect thoughts, can cause dukkha, or in other words, self-destruction, or in other words, suffering, right? But life is suffering? That makes no sense, and it's just not true. Just not true. So, given this example, I would like to talk a little bit about desires again. So, desires are the things that we feel we need to, or not we need to, but we feel good about and we feel love and happiness towards. Now, I'm not talking about false ideas of who we have to be according to other people, society, institutions, and so on. Those are not desires. Those are incorrect thoughts, right? Let's have a distinction here. Desires are something that keeps us fulfilled and abundant in all aspects of our lives. Incorrect thoughts are giving us false perceptions of some specific thing, situation, person, object, that it's gonna make us feel fulfilled. And this is not a desire, not a desire. That's incorrect perception, incorrect thinking, incorrect ideas of who you are and what you need, right? So starting off from this, a desire is innately a good thing because we all know innately what we desire. We have aptitudes for different things. We have skills. We have skills that we never developed in this life, but we are so good at, right? Things like painting, speaking, reading, creating, playing a musical instrument, writing, being a leader, being constructor, doesn't matter, so many things, and we have an innate desire for those things. And this innate desire is the thing that innately is keeping us fulfilled if we follow it, because it feels good, because we feel love towards it, because we feel natural attraction towards this thing, this profession. Let's call it the profession in life. But that's our desire. That's our desire. And we know that this desire feels good. Now, society tells us we shouldn't follow our desires. Society tells us this desire of yours will not bring you money, or something else is going to bring you more money. So what we do is develop incorrect thoughts, incorrect types of thinking, and we start believing that something else according to, whoever said it, is gonna bring us fulfillment in life instead of our desire. So we shift the places of, the thing that comes from the external that somebody tells us, we give it power and it bring it here to us, and we start following it. And what is innate to us, what is beautiful to us, what is expansive to us, we give away to the external. And we say, oh, I really love singing, but, oh, I really love writing, but, oh, I really love creating things with my hands, right? Like handcraft. But I really love painting, but I really love talking with people and helping them solve their issues. But I don't have the certificate. I don't have acquaintances that know how I can do it, or people that can help me. But. And at the end of the day, this, which is already feeling as something that would give us fulfillment, or that would provide this fulfillment in the physical realm that we live in, we suddenly push away from us because we think they're incorrect. So now back to desires. Desire is a good, great, amazing thing. Very misunderstood, especially by certain religions, by certain texts, and certain people are just very prejudiced, right? And they're somehow in apprehension, in fear, of desires. And I'm not talking about negative thoughts, negative actions, negative speech, right? I'm not talking about this. This is obviously not a desire already, right? Desire, something that keeps you fulfilled, that brings you to a place where you feel in abundance, and a place where you use your innate skills and aptitudes, right? And you feel happy, you feel satisfied, and you feel good in your own body, right? And now talking about something which is not a desire, can be, as I already mentioned, incorrect perceptions and thoughts, negative thoughts and perceptions, and also a product of those things is negative emotions, right? So negative emotions are not always the product of negative thoughts and incorrect beliefs, but they can be. And in a lot of cases, we start feeling negative emotions towards what we desire, which creates huge amounts of resistance, and we live with that resistance on a daily basis, creating illness in ourselves for ourselves. It's a pity, but it's a fact. What we can do, however, is understand what desires are and see what we really feel good about, right? Because society, family discourages us early on. Not everybody. There are amazing families, amazing people, amazing friends, amazing co-workers, amazing managers, amazing bosses that are helping you with that are even bringing you closer to this which you forgot. Is what feels good to you, your desire, your life fulfillment plan, kinda. You have a pre-planned life fulfillment scenario, and when you don't follow it, suffering happens, dukkha happens, right? Incorrect thinking happens, and we believe that this is caused by a desire. We believe that this is caused by our innate capability of knowing what's best for us and what we really, truly, deeply, lovingly want, desire, and want to nourish and advance in, grow in, create from, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, desires are amazing. Look for your desires, for your true desires. What makes you feel loved, loving, supported, expanded, happy, joyful, and free. Free, because desires always feel like freedom. Always feel like freedom. The first impulse of a natural desire would be freedom and joy. It might be very minute, like for just a fragment of a moment that we feel it because of suppression, right? Because of other beliefs that I already mentioned. But that's how we know. We might have buried it deeply, like deep inside of us, but it's still there. And if we consciously start looking again for it, we'll understand what it really is. And a desire for a new car, for example, can be something again good and fulfilling, because we need to be safe, we need to be satisfied with what we're doing, and we need to also feel happy, right? And those things are important because they are byproducts of our innate desires. And wanting a car might be because of, let's say, we want to go here, we want to go there, we want to be independent, and this is a byproduct, a branch of our innate desire. So this brings even this brings something from the external to you as a help to fulfill your desire in a specific area, aspect of your life, doesn't matter. It helps you bring it to new places, to new people, and so on and so forth. But when the desire to have a new car comes from envy, from lack, from feeling that you cannot or that you should, then you know this is not outcome or a branch of a natural desire, but it's an incorrect perception, incorrect thinking. Whew. It is quite something. It is quite something, and I'm very glad that I managed to share it. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this brought some clarity to you when it comes to your own life, your own understandings. And please go on, test this in your life. Test it, explore it. Try to discover for yourself what is true and what is not. And see you soon. If there is anything that you would like to share, please write it down in the comment section below. And see you very soon, people. Thank you. Love you all, and ciao for now.